Benz, listen, if Islam may retire,
I can feel him.
He may retire. He's done a lot. He's competed in 2 different weight classes and won world championships in 2 different weight classes. If he beats Ian, if he submits Ian and says, I've had enough, I'm going to do what Khabib did and I'm going to coach now, I could see that. And then I could see Morales and Prates for the fucking undisputed title.
Yeah.
But everybody shut up. I mean, Ian had it right. Ian played that right, and I'm just sharing for you. Now what? He's a bad guy because he said something nice about women? God, I'd like to be there with you. I can't.
Bro, I think of course, I think Makhachev gonna win.
You think Makhachev wins?
I think, but I truly believe Ian Garry have really good skills to beat him. You know, I think Makhachev gonna win because Ian Garry is the underdog. So he's Makhachev is a double champ, you know, a really good fighter. But I really believe like Ian have a really good skills to beat Makhachev.
Yeah. Who would you prefer to fight at the end of this thing, right? Because I know a lot of people say, if you're next, right? A lot of people will say stuff like, I want to beat the guy, right? So if Islam's the guy, if he's a double champion, he's been in both weight classes champion, I'd rather him be the person that I beat for the belt. But on the other hand, you have Ian Garry, a guy who owns a victory over you that I'm sure you would like to get.
Bro, that lose to Ian is still hurting me a little bit, you know? It's still a little bit painful, you know?
Why? Do you think you froze up a little bit in that fight? Do you think you froze up a little bit in that fight?
Bro, I hate to lose. I'm really bad loser, you know? I stopped to play soccer and like collective sports because when you lose, I fight. Like usually I fight somebody or something like that because I hate to lose. So that lose for me is still a little bit painful. So I think me and Ian, we still have some business to do.
So you prefer Garry be the guy that's holding that belt?
Yeah.
So
they both would be good, you know. Like for the legacy, Makhachev is great, you know. Like he former double champ, you know, like he just won loss.
Do you know what? I think this is going to be Islam's toughest fight that we've seen recently. I think that stylistically, Ian Garry is a pretty bad matchup for him, to be honest. He's long, rangy, moves really well. You don't often see him getting taken down and held there. Super tall, super elusive, elite striking, judges the distance really well. He's young, he's fresh, he's not had loads of damage or anything like that. He's not got a lot of miles on the clock. But then we talk about Islam Makhachev, mate. In my opinion, pound for pound number 1, or in the argument at the minute for that. Once he gets hold of you, you're done. He's got that left head kick. People are saying, there's reports across the board, he's the strongest person that people have ever fought. Apparently he's so physically strong, which is something that you can't see on TV.
Countdown has begun for Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry. With their welterweight title fight getting closer by the hour, Islam Makhachev remains the favorite. But many experts believe Ian Machado Garry has the skills to make this a much more competitive matchup. Fighters and MMA analysts have already explained why this fight could be closer than some people expect. Now, with fight night approaching, all eyes are on whether Garry can pull off the upset or whether Islam Makhachev will once again show why he is considered one of the best fighters in the sport.
I think that that's something that you can't really see. I mean, when you watch an opponent, right, you can always see the speed that they move, the techniques that they're using, the game plans and all that kind of stuff. What you can't see is how strong somebody is physically. I've seen multiple guys, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje and people like that saying that, like, wait, has he even fought Justin Gaethje? Don't think he has he? He mustn't. No, it must have been somebody else. Must have been somebody else, but seeing multiple guys say how strong he is physically. And once he gets older guys, they don't seem to be able to escape. Ian Garry, though, very tough guy to get hold of. Moves his feet really well.
For Islam, obviously he beat JDM and became the champion, and JDM was the champion and had a really good run leading up to that fight. But I feel like, all right, this is a real welterweight challenge in the way that Ian Garry is a true welterweight, and he's going to pose those issues that we have questions about. Do you think he's the hardest fight for Islam Makhachev in the division right now?
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah.
Do you reckon it's between him and Morales? Probably. I mean, Shavkat
Morales is a beast, but his defense is not as refined as Ian. I mean, again, I'm going to say Ian's footwork is very good. His distance management is very good. He's got a very good series of lancing attacks. His takedown defense is excellent. Shavkat didn't get him down until like the 4th or the 5th. And even then, yes, he did get him down. And so I think this will be kind of interesting to see what kind of takedowns he uses.
I mean, Bilal Muhammad is not near what Islam Makhachev is on the cage or on the ground, and he was able to have success at trapping Ian up against the cage. And everybody knows that fights start on the feet, but the cage is also a very useful tool to get somebody dragged down to the ground. And Islam's team does it better than anybody else. They kind of wrote the blueprint for how to use the cage as an apparatus within the arena and have success. All of the chaining, we call it chain wrestling, but now it's like chain cage work, right? The whizzers to the underhooks to the body locks to dropping down, changing levels, getting to the legs, and finding your way to pull somebody down off the cage. Islam's better than anybody at that. And we saw Bilal Muhammad have some success against Ian Garry. Multiple times he was able to trap Ian. And I don't even think Bilal's striking is near as good as Islam. So Islam pushing that pressure will get Ian Garry backed up against the cage. Probably not in the first round or two, because like we said, Ian's so good at lateral movement and staying long and staying away from the danger. But eventually he's going to wind up with his back against the cage, and he's going to have to deal with Islam's body locks.
That is a tough one. Honestly, like, I feel like it's going to kind of be like, he's never really fought a guy that tall and that, like, weird. Like, ooh, that's tough. You know, like, I have a feeling Islam's going to win, but it'll be like in the later rounds, like kind of like what he did with Dustin. After he gets in close, I think he secures the takedown. I know Ian's grappling is top tier, but I just don't think he can handle Islam, because everyone said the same thing when Islam went against Charles, and Islam just put him away, made his ground look like nothing. So I'm like, I can never doubt Islam ever again, you know? So I'm going to take it.
Luke Thomas gave the advantage to Islam Makhachev, pointing to his status as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport, and explaining why he is difficult to pick against. However, Thomas also warned that Ian Machado Garry should not be underestimated.
Very difficult right now to pick against Islam Makhachev. This is not some grand revelation. He's the pound-for-pound #1 guy in the sport. So, like, this is, I'm not like blowing your audience's mind at this present moment. But I think what I would say is this is exactly the kind of fight that, like, how do I say this? When I see elite guys get tripped up, it's often in scenarios like this, where they're fighting a #1 contender, but the fan base might not really respect the B side, or they might begrudgingly respect that he deserves the title shot, but he didn't have much of a shot, and they're nonplussed about his offense, and he doesn't have the same level of a distinguished career as the champion.
He noted that even established champions can face serious challenges when they meet a highly motivated contender who has earned a title opportunity and is determined to prove himself. According to Thomas, Garry fits that description, bringing confidence, motivation, and a style that could create problems for Makhachev. While Thomas ultimately picked Makhachev to win, he still acknowledged that Garry represents a serious challenge.
Do you know what? I think this is going to be Islam's toughest fight that we've seen recently. I think that stylistically, Ian Garry is a pretty bad matchup for him, to be honest. He's long, rangy, moves really well. You don't often see him getting taken down and held there. Super tall, super elusive, elite striking, judges the distance really well. He's young, he's fresh, he's not had loads of damage or anything like that. He's not got a lot of miles on the clock. But then we talk about Islam Makhachev, mate. In my opinion, pound-for-pound #1, or in the argument at the minute for that. Once he gets hold of you, you're done. He's got that left head kick. People are saying, there's reports across the board, he's the strongest person that people have ever fought. Apparently he's so physically strong, which is something that you can't see on TV. I think that's something that you can't really see. I mean, when you watch an opponent, right, you can always see the speed that they move, the techniques that they use and the game plans and all that kind of stuff. What you can't see is how strong somebody is physically. I've seen multiple guys, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje and people like that saying that, like, wait, has he even fought Justin Gaethje? Don't think he has he? He mustn't. No, it must have been somebody else. Must have been somebody else. But seeing multiple guys say how strong he is physically. And once he gets older guys, they don't seem to be able to escape. Ian Garry, though, very tough guy to get hold of. Moves his feet really well.